Alright, we're here on the range for our first comparison episode. We have the J-9, the Jimenez Arms 9mm handgun, and the High Point C-9. C stands for compact. It's not really a compact gun, but they say it is. And who are we to argue? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to run really simple. A real comparison would be detailed and thousands of rounds downrange in a variety of situations. We've kind of condensed several weeks worth of shooting with these down to a couple drills, and this is what we're going to do first. Allie and I both are going to shoot at 7 yards today. We have a big torso target here. Pay no attention to the interstate in the background. Neither one of these guns will reach that range. And we're shooting into the hill. But I have a circle drawn on the head. We'll shoot the J-9 5 rounds for the circle in the head, and then we'll do the High Point, the circle at the heart. And I realize those are not drawn exactly the same, so we're not just scoring, are they in the circle? But we're looking for the group size, okay? You ready? So 5 rounds each, the Jimenez Arms J-9 for the head. The Jimenez J-9 with no ammo. Let's see how the High Point does, shall we?
Alright guys, I'm not going to say too much before I start shooting because it's pretty much the same as Dan's, except I don't have to hit it within the circles, I just have to hit the paper. We're going to hope I can do that at 7 yards. We're going to start with the Jimenez Arms, and let's see how this goes.
Low. I think you shot him in the groin. Nope, that's a bug. Never mind. Oh, you shot him in the heart. And then in the chest, in the throat. Nice. Heart again. Good grief, woman.
I wish I could shoot this gun in the heart.
I know you don't like that gun, but look at your 5 shots. Shoulder. Abdomen. Another one in the abdomen. Nice group. Nice pair. Heart. Good grief. Exercises. What we're going to do now, still pretty slow. It's not a real combat handgun. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the 5-plate knockdown and then try the hostage target. We're going 8 rounds in each to see if we can work through this. I am not real good with these guns, and it appears the fault might be mostly mine. Let's find out. First up, I do believe we shot the J-9 first last time. Let's continue that. The High Point C-9. Failed to go into battery. That was low, wasn't it?
And I've just got the torso targets over here. And I'm going to be putting both guns 5 rounds through and just randomly hitting, no real order to it. That's my justification for hitting one I didn't mean to hit. But we're going to start with the Jimenez. One out of 5. But then again, this gun hurts my hands, and it makes me a little timid to shoot it because I know that pain is coming back. Let's see how the high point does. Definitely did better with the high point on that one. Alright guys, we are in the studio for our very first Versus review. You've seen it, we've shot them, and both these guns we've reviewed before, but we wanted to put them against each other to see which one kind of comes out above the other one.
We're going head to head. This one is the battle of the budget firearm. Both of these 9mm handguns retail for under $200. They're pretty similar in price. And like she said, we reviewed them before. They're going head to head, and we've got 7 different categories to look at. We went with an odd number to make sure we didn't have a tie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just which one we liked better for each category. So feel free to keep score, and if you've shot both of these guns, see what you think. See if you agree with us, disagree with us, put it in the comments, but be civil. You don't know Allie that well. Alright, to start with, the first category is aesthetics. As far as looks go, for me, hands down, the Jimenez Arms looks better. The high point doesn't really look like a firearm. That's my opinion. So category 1, I'm giving the score to the Jimenez.
Actually, I'm going to agree with him on this one. I do think that there's something about the two-tone that just catches your eye. And if you're going for aesthetics, your eye's gonna drift towards that as opposed to this one. This one does look a little more clunkier, a little more almost toy gun-ish, you know. So I would agree that this one was gonna catch your eye before this one is. So point for Jimenez for me.
Our second category, ergonomics, is the fancy way of saying how comfy is it in your hands. I gave this category to the high point. It doesn't look real comfortable, but it's better in my hands than the J-9.
Firing the J-9 for comfort value, I don't know what it is. It hurts. Every time I fired this gun with previous reviews in this head-to-head, it just hurts. And so for that reason, I do find the high point more comfortable.
I feel like you almost answered this one instead of just how it feels in your hands. But which one's more shootable? And in this case, again, hands down, the high point is better. The J-9 is kind of uncomfortable to shoot.
I would have to agree where I would almost rather just put down the Jimenez after firing it once and be like, can I just get a different gun, please?
Oh, you didn't mean insult. You meant actually set it down and not shoot it again.
Yeah.
Got it. I went somewhere else with that. My bad.
No, it's an uncomfortable gun to shoot, and I really wish I understood why. I was really hoping when we did this Versus that it could almost get a slight redemption of some course, at least with me, where I would fire it better for some reason, but it didn't. It still hurt every single time, so I gotta go with the high point.
All right, well, let's talk about accuracy. I was happy with the Jimenez, and then when I did the 5 rounds with the high point, it was a much tighter group. I was really happy with the paper shooting, and that's what we're scoring right now, is just the paper shooting. Again, hands down, the high point, much tighter group.
I was actually a little shocked with the groupings that I got with these two guns. Initially, when reviewing them, I didn't shoot well with either of them really, but when I went out this time for the verses, I shot a much tighter group with the high point than I did with the Jimenez. And it was a little shocking. I thought I was going to be all over the place for both, but this one came through and said, "No, notice me," and I did. So there you go.
The next category, Allie named point to point. And if you saw the knockdown scores, they seem pretty even. So this could almost be a toss-up, but I'm still going to give it to the high point just in the fact that it felt a little more natural in the transition, even if the score didn't reflect it, where they seemed even. This one made me feel a little bit more confident, and I felt like I could have definitely scored higher if I were just a little bit more careful. The J-9 just seemed random, and I was lost with it. So again, score for the high point.
I did find that the high point performed better and gave better results than the Jimenez. And so, again, point to high point.
Category number 6. This is easy. You could say this one's easier because you don't have to take it apart, but you're not cleaning it either. So it's really obviously one-sided. This one you can take apart by hand. This one needs tools. So, high point.
I've never actually taken apart and put back together either of these guns for cleaning purposes, so I have to go off of what I've seen and the knowledge of my co-host here. So for that reason, I am also going to give it to the Jimenez.
All right. Our last category, we just did easy. Now we're going to do cheap. Overall, it is easier to find the high point at under 150 bucks. Just barely, but you can get it. There's gun shops that have this for $149. This one tends to run, they list it at $199 at a lot of places, and you can get it for like $175, that sort of thing. But that means that the high point is a little bit cheaper yet. Mm-hmm. And when you add the fact the high point will shoot plus P ammo, and the Jimenez says right in the owner's manual, do not shoot plus P ammo with it, for a cheap price, I'm throwing it on the high point.
Being an inexperienced shooter and being inexperienced in just the gun community, I once again kind of have to go off the knowledge of the one who does and the one who has in the past sold firearms, and he's gone to gun shows and he knows the prices of things. So I'm going to have to go with the high point as well. Let's look at our check marks and see which gun comes out ahead in our versus episode.
Today we have definitely crowned a winner. The high point, C9. Winner of our first versus championship.
Well, that's all the time that we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you enjoyed this versus episode, click that like button down below to let us know that you actually want to see more of these, because we'd love to do more. We've got lots of guns that we can pet against each other, and I really enjoyed this. I think this was fun. I'd love to do more. But let us know what you guys think. And if you have suggestions for guns that we should verse each other with, let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thank you guys once again for stopping by, and make sure to come back because you know there's going to be more reviews coming soon. See you then.